We are going to begin today at 4 with one of the biggest gang busts in the history of Los Angeles. Good afternoon. I'm Robert Cavassi.
I'm Kathy Vara. Dozens of people were arrested in connection with a white supremacist gang based in the San Fernando Valley. NBC4's Brittany Hope is live in Sherman Oaks, where the federal investigation continues. Brittany?
Hi, Robert and Kathy. We're just outside the 777 Motor Inn. It's right on Sepulveda between Ventura Boulevard and the 101 in the heart of businesses and neighborhoods. Now, I just talked to an employee here who said this all started at 5:30 when a SWAT team showed up and rammed their way into a room. Now, hours later, 10 hours later, 11 hours later, it's still going on. Take a look behind me. FBI agents are still here. Some of them were undercover. You can see they're not wearing uniforms. We've seen them come out with different pieces of evidence, putting things into different boxes, lots of them wearing masks and gloves. The DEA tells me this is one of dozens of busts across Southern California involving a gang, drugs, guns, fraud, and hate.
Sheer scale of this operation is historic.
68 members of a white supremacist gang now facing federal charges.
This was one of the largest violent extremist takedowns in LA, this city's history.
The FBI, DEA, U.S. Attorney's Office, and LAPD say 42 of them were arrested in raids across Southern California. This morning, one of those busts happened at this motel in Sherman Oaks. The motel shared these videos with us of law enforcement in tactical gear going into one of the rooms and later putting this man in handcuffs.
What defines them is their hate and their animus towards racial, ethnic, and religious minorities.
With hate toward Jewish people, here's what officials say they found in one gang member's home.
In his home, a treasure trove of white supremacist paraphernalia, including replica Nazi uniforms, posters of Adolf Hitler, and on top of that, he would post in online message boards threats to murder and commit genocide against Jewish people.
The 76-count indictment alleges the members of this gang have been trafficking drugs, including fentanyl, possessing illegal guns, terrorizing Valley neighborhoods, and committing fraud and identity theft since at least 2016.
They even set up a storefront, a fake drug treatment center, used to write false documents to get members of their group off probation or parole, defrauding Medicare and insurance providers.
An operation going on for years in partnership with the Aryan Brotherhood prison gang.
And then they will pay proceeds of this criminal activity to Aryan Brotherhood members incarcerated. This is known as a form of taxes.
Authorities say the gang wanted to use all of the funds from their illegal doings to commit hate crimes and attacks toward different religious and ethnic groups, including members of the Jewish faith. And they believe this historic bust and what they took into custody
97 pounds of fentanyl
will protect Angelenos.
We will not sit back and wait for the next tragedy to occur.
And the FBI still here again collecting evidence out of that room. Again, 68 people charged in this, 29 arrested just today. That leaves dozens of people who the FBI are now calling fugitives, and they say they need the community's help finding those people, learning more about this gang.
Fox 7's Christina Gonzalez live on what the U.S. Attorney is calling one of the largest takedowns in the history of the DOJ. Christina.
Yeah, this is one of 29 locations where they served federal search warrants. You're going to see them going into that room right behind us, part of a very large indictment against what they are describing as a local hate group. Watch.
This man is barricaded himself.
A motel manager describing security video from the 777 Motor Inn off Sepulveda as federal agents break into one of the rooms. The view from Skyfox as federal and local law enforcement serves arrest warrants against members of a San Fernando hate group.
The San Fernando Valley Peckerwoods, essentially a local chapter of the Aryan Brotherhood, has for many years tormented these neighborhoods in the San Fernando Valley. This group displays its affiliation with a gang and also its neo-Nazi ideology through various means. They will often have tattoos that have the letters SFV, representing San Fernando Valley, and also, in their own conversations, searching for victims.
This was one of the largest violent extremist takedowns in LA, this city's history.
Part of an ongoing lengthy investigation targeting how the group allegedly funds its activities.
Their operation branched out in different directions to include drug distribution, specifically fentanyl. They engaged in COVID-19 fraud, unemployment fraud.
Last year, 34-year-old Ryan Bradford was arrested in Reseda for alleged drug and weapons violations.
He was a member of the Peckerwoods. He was making threats to attack the Jewish people online, and had written in a planner his notes for the rest of the year, which was to bake every single Jew.
13 suspects were already in custody. 29 others were arrested today, including the man in that Sherman Oaks motel room who had checked in yesterday. And according to the manager,
It looks suspicious from the beginning when they check in.
now at this point, you heard about all the arrests, but they're still looking for 26 other people. And some pictures of some of them, we're putting them on our website at foxla.com if you want to check it out. And if you're wondering where the name comes from, it's actually a derogatory term that was used in the prison system for white people. And they embraced it, and they named themselves this years ago, saying that they were going to love that name. And that's in case you were wondering where the name of the group comes from.